You hear that, Nick? You hear that?
Yeah.
It's Christmas time, Nick. Get the guidos out. This is one of my favorites.
Same here. I love it.
It's like a parranda in New York.
Right.
Oh, wait a second. We got a show to do, Nick. Stop playing around.
We do.
Let's go. We're back. WEPA. Feliz Navidad, mi gente. Merry Christmas. We want to welcome listeners across Central New York to the Voice of Eddie show. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and virtually alongside me is my awesome co-host, Mr. Nick Lewis. Say what's up, Nick.
Hey, everyone. Ho, 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 ho.
Voice of Eddie can be streamed online and on demand at PulsoCentral.com and live on the HDFM channels of 91.3 Syracuse, 89.5 Utica, and 90 Watertown. Pues vámonos. Let's go.
Hey, let's do it.
That's right. It's the Navidades, Nick. So how was your break in the holiday weekend with the family, Nick? How did you and Jamie spend it, you know?
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. Really, really fast. I was like, whoa, I blinked and it was already Monday.
Didn't it go fast? I was
so
sad.
fast. I'm like, come on, time.
I know.
But other than that, it was very chill, very relaxed. I ate a lot, of course. We spent it with Jamie's,
do tell. All the
yeah,
good savory
we spent
foods.
it with Jamie's parents at her house in Brooklyn. She cooked a whole feast. One of my things that I don't really like stuffing. But she made a mean stuffing. And I was like, Mom, this was good.
Now you like it, right?
Yeah. What about you, Eddie? How did you spend it? Did you make some poquito?
Pues, we didn't travel and we were home and cooked. I had a few relatives over and the kids were over and I made the turkey. That's right.
Ooh,
yeah. Because
okay.
you know, it's all about the seasoning and how to cook a turkey. It's the best way to cook a turkey is to always cook it breast downward. So, if you leave the breast down in the oven, in the pan, then it comes out really juicy and moist. And, Latinos, we put every single spice that we could think of and ingredient and sazon and adobo and garlic. And you can't forget the sofrito, of course, right? So that. And, of course, I made a batch of coquito. Ya tu sabes, right? That's kind of my thing.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing every year. My tradition every holiday season is to make coquito. Both a virgin coquito, for the kids, so they don't, taste the alcohol. And then I'll do the Bacardi rum in the other one. So, and let me say, everything was so delicious. I mean, we also had sweet potato marshmallow casserole. I don't know if you've ever tried that.
That's definitely my favorite too.
That's one of my faves. I don't know why. It's just yummy. It's like candy.
It's like sweet and salty.
And then, we had spicy green beans with Romano cheese all over it. If you can imagine that. Of course, we had some corn and we did the stuffing. Mashed potatoes with gravy, pasta salad. Then we had the pumpkin pie, the apple pie, the sweet potato pie. And of course, the pasteles.
Hey.
Dale. It was so yummy. So yummy.
That sounds so amazing and so good.
Yeah, it was. But like you said, it went by so quick. But I made sure to work out a little extra in the morning, in the AM, to try to keep, those Thanksgiving pounds off, right?
Yeah, those calories.
Before you know it, you're gaining a couple pounds. And then, you start off the new year all depressed about it. So it's all good to enjoy. But what we have to do is just do it in moderation, right? Because
Facts.
All those carbs and sweets and drinks, they add up. I mean, I had my share of calories this weekend, but I felt better about myself because I worked out a little more. So, that's how I do it,
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, trying to, it's all about balance, like enjoy yourself, but don't overdo it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
By the way, what kind of workout do you do? Maybe share a little about it with our listeners.
Yeah.
So maybe they can.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. And it's actually a good lead into our show today. So So today, what Nick and I are going to talk about, we're going to chat about some of our holiday season memories and traditions, as childhood memories, family memories, and some of our traditions at home in a Boricua household. And we'll also educate a little bit about health and wellness over the holidays, both physical and mental, right? There's two aspects to it, right? There's the physical, but you can't have the physical if you don't have the mental. So, and we all know this time of year can be kind of rough on some folks, from a mental standpoint. Nick, it's something that, this time of year can be rough, right?
And this time of year can also be wonderful, but can also add stress to one's life.
Exacto. So since we're about empowering and educating our community, let's get some background about the holiday season first and foremost. So Nick, there's so many cultures and the history behind it. How did the holiday season come to fruition this time of year?
Yeah, that's a really, really great question. Historically, December 25th was a significant day for many early cultures, hence why the holiday season generally falls towards the end of the year. So the ancient Babylonians believed the son of Queen of Heaven was born on December 25th, while the ancient Egyptians celebrated the birth of the sun of fertility goddess on the 25th. Ancient Arabs celebrated the birth of the moon on the 24th, and many scholars believe that Christians celebrated the birth of Jesus Christ on the 25th to make it easier to convert pagan tribes, since that date coincided with when they celebrated the birth of the sun, and as such, this newly created holiday was named Christmas.
I just find it very interesting how
right?
They all landed on or about the 25th and mentioned the birth of a son, right? Birth of the son of a queen of heaven, and the ancient Arabs on the son of the fertility goddess, and then of course Jesucristo, right? Jesus Christ. That's one of the memories I have, is always going to church and Mary and Joseph stopped, right before they stopped and gave birth to Jesus. So, but I found that very interesting.
Yeah, it really is interesting. And here in the United States, the holiday season is generally considered to begin in late November, the day after Thanksgiving, and ends in early January after New Year's Day. Some even consider it to begin on October 31st to incorporate Halloween and Thanksgiving.
That's for sure.
Right?
It seems once Halloween and Dia de los Muertos is over, everyone starts to unpack all their Christmas decorations. Especially in the stores, right? To get ready for the season. They take full advantage of the season and start putting out all the Christmas decorations for sale almost immediately after Halloween. Sometimes sooner I've seen it, right? You've seen the Halloween aisle, and then in the next aisle, you already see Christmas stuff and you're scratching your head like, what are they doing already? But, they're smart, right? They really, really want to take advantage of it. And I don't know if you knew, but about 20% of all annual retail sales happen this time of year. I don't know if you knew that. They really want to make their bank this time of year. That's why you get all of these great deals. That's why they created Black Friday, right? They have to grab our attention and make their sales numbers right now. So usually
make their money. And it's also called capitalism.
We take advantage of every holiday and make it a commercial, sale.
Facts.
New Year's sale, post-Christmas sale, and then after that you have
President's Day sale. It's like, what is happening here?
Exactly.
So, but that's modern culture, and so the holiday season really includes the holidays, including like Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and the New Year's Eve celebration. So that's why we have all of these things happening around the same time, because it's really about gift giving, decorating trees, sending holiday cards, and monetary spending have become part of the holiday season tradition for all cultures. And, speaking of cultures, what are some of your childhood memories and traditions of the holidays, Eddie? Do you have something you want to share with us?
You just sparked a lot of them. I reminisce back as a kid, what I enjoyed the most of the holiday season was anticipating the start of the school break. In elementary school, we have our annual holiday school assembly. And it would either be a play or some, chorus or singing and music. And then we would count down the days to break. So there'd be the classroom parties. But once we had our break, it was about taking out all of the boxes of decorations from our basement storage to decorate the house, our Christmas tree, and our little front yard in Queens, New York. We would put all these bunch of lights, thinking that it was going to make a big deal, but it was a cute thing to do. But one thing that always stuck in my mind is every season we kind of decorate, and I remember in the background Jose Feliciano's Feliz Navidad playing in the background. Feliz Navidad.
Navidad.
Yeah, Feliz Navidad. Then it's getting ready for the family to come over. So forget about it. Our house is like Grand Central Station. It was just like we'd have my aunts over, we'd have my uncles over, we'd have my cousins over. Of course, my abuela would be over, and my family would make a huge dinner, everything and anything under the sun, and have some awesome desserts like flan, arroz con dulce, and plenty of coquito to go around, that's for sure. And then going back, there was always the tradition of going to church for midnight mass. And me and my family would get dressed. Big fact is I was an altar boy when I was a young kid. Believe it or not, Nick.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was an altar boy. And, serving midnight mass was like the Super Bowl for altar boys. It was like, if you were assigned to midnight mass, you were like the number one top altar boys in the neighborhood.
Okay, I see.
And then after church, we'd still stay up. We'd be, in the wee hours in the morning, staying up late, listening to music, watching all the shows on TV, and then going to bed, kicking and screaming, but knowing that when you got up, it was time to open some gifts. So it was very exciting. How about you, Nick?
I love that.
I know you have some good childhood holiday season and Christmas traditions as well. So share some of those.
I got you right now. So when you talk about Jose Feliciano's Feliz Navidad, which is a really great song, my song that plays in my mind is, I know this may be a little cliche, but Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
I love that
but
song.
It's always playing in the background because one of my aunts loved that song. But the tradition that we usually have was like on Christmas Eve, we would go to my grandmother's house. She would cook this huge feast with like my aunts, my mom, my uncle, pernil, like pasteles, and like rice and like, all that good stuff. And then we would play a game called Poquino. So Poquino would happen like every Friday nights at my grandmother's house. But for Christmas, like you said, like the Super Bowl, like it was the time to play Poquino during Christmas because the more people that are playing, the more money you're going to get while you're playing the Poquino, right?
So I hear family fighting
competitive.
You talking
It was
money?
Very competitive. I know they like to gamble a lot, but
how many broken dishes were there?
There were a lot of dishes and cups, and like, like you da da da. It was just like, oh my god, guys, it's just a game. Relax.
It's never just a game.
It brought everyone together at the same time. Because everyone it would be like the thing of the year. Christmas Eve, Poquino at grandma's house was always the thing. Then at midnight, we will all open gifts together because it was like the family together. Then we'll go to my house with my mom, my dad, and my sister, and we will get to open up one thing, either from a stocking stuffer or like under the tree. Open it, and then it'll be like 3:00, 4:00 in the morning. Then we'll go to sleep, and then when we wake up, we had to make breakfast, make sure that the kitchen was clean, everything was clean.
Why does it sound so familiar?
Will all come together to open up presents in Christmas, and then like play with our toys, watch movies, and then usually we go see like my grandparents from like my dad's side for Christmas, or like anyone else that we didn't see, and that will always happen every year. So
that sounds just like every typical Puerto Rican traditional household right there.
Facts.
But why the one gift? Who made that up? I didn't understand. Like,
I don't know.
You can open up one gift, and that's
it felt like a tease.
It
felt like
and it couldn't
tease.
be the most favorite gift you were waiting for. It had to be like something like you said, small, in the stocking stuffer or something.
Yeah.
Do you have a memory of like one of the best gifts you've ever received for Christmas?
Yes, I do.
What
I received the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord one year.
What?
It was so awesome. I remember opening it up. And it was when I don't know if you know Power Rangers like that, but I was like a huge fan, or I still am a huge fan because I still watch it. But it's when the movie came out where they became ninjas. So their Zords like transform into like the bear, the ape, the wolf. And it was like the thing of the year to get that Megazord. And when I opened it and I saw it, I was like,
what?
That was like the best gift ever. What about you?
My parents played me one Christmas. They were like, "Oh, it was a rough
Oh,
year. We don't know." And this was the year, and this goes way back. I'm gonna really date myself here, but this is when like
okay.
game systems were huge and Atari came out. I don't know if you've heard about the history of
Oh,
Atari.
yeah,
I mean,
that's way back.
any kid in the neighborhood that Atari, you were,
You're lit.
everybody
Yeah.
was coming over your house. So they were like, "Well, we don't know. It's expensive." And I was like, "All right," I was just being very humble and like, "I'll take whatever I get." And I woke up that morning, I ran downstairs, and there was this big box under the tree, and lo and behold, I opened it, and it was Atari, and I was
Oh,
literally jumping up and down like a fool. I'm like, yeah.
yes. You were
So
lit. You
I
were
was
the
like,
lit
you
kid
know
in the
what?
block.
But you know what? I deserved it. I worked hard that year in school. I was getting good grades. I was the
Ooh,
poster child. So I treat my kids the
right,
same way. I'm like, you get what you're gonna get, but end of the day, they get good stuff because they're good kids, right? I'm not gonna give them
right,
coal. I'm gonna give them something nice, something they're gonna like, something they're gonna use, something they're gonna enjoy, something they're gonna remember. But I kind of do that with my kids now. I surprise them. I don't want to tell them,
mm,
But nowadays, they kind of give you a gift list, and then you got to pick
right.
through it. And now everything is online, so it's like when I was younger, I had to leave like clues. I had to snip things out of the newspaper and put it on the table.
Oh, that's actually really
Yeah,
cool.
I had to give them ideas.
Yeah,
Like, okay, I saw this in the Sunday newspaper, and maybe they'll get an idea from it. Now everything is Google this, Google that, Amazon this, Amazon that, Apple this, Apple that, and you're good to go. So,
right.
but it was such a great memory as a kid growing
That's
up.
so awesome. That sounds really great.
And
Yeah,
it's something that a lot of our friends had a great time with in that time. So,
for
but
sure.
that time of year is also a tough time for some people because they don't have it like that.
True,
So
true.
that's kind of a good interesting pivot moment for us because we want to talk about like people who may be dealing with some mental stress during the holidays, whether it's
Hmm.
financial stress, whether it's depression, from being lonely or having to have dealt with maybe some loss in their life. So let's talk about that, Nick. So
Yeah,
share with our listeners what you found out about dealing with holiday stress.
yeah, I got you right now. So, according to the American Psychological Association, 38% of people surveyed said their stress increased during the holiday season, which can lead to physical illness,
Hmm.
depression,
Yep.
anxiety, and substance misuse. The reasons given for the increased stress levels included lack of time, financial pressure, gift giving, and family gatherings, actually.
Exactly. I mean,
That's
I
such
totally
a big
understand
increase.
that. I totally
Yeah.
understand that, especially when, when we started living on our own, right? And more so when I became a parent, it was all about fun when we were kids.
Right.
But as an adult, it's very stressful this time of year, and we have to manage that stress. And I personally always prepare myself mentally for it because I know it's coming. And I know not to overwhelm myself because yeah, we want to have it all ready for our kids and family, but we're adding so much extra pressure to our already hectic lives. It's just 24 hours in a day, and the holiday seasons, whatever it is, 30 days or so, and we're just compressing so much to do in that little bit of time on
Mhm.
top of your 9 to 5 job, on top of any other responsibilities you might have with family or children or even your pets, right? You have all that extra added stress this time of year. So what are some of the short things of to avoid, Nick? How can we help people out with avoiding this time of year, the stress behind it?
Right, for sure. So I have a little list here going on. The first one is cold weather. So cold weather constricts blood vessels, which can increase blood pressure and the risk of heart attack. So if you can try to stay inside, stay inside. If you're going to go outside, make sure you dress up warm.
I agree.
Overall stress. The holidays can be stressful with parties, families gatherings, and other events. Rich foods and drinks. So overindulging in rich foods and drinks can contribute to the increase of heart attacks. So like we talked about earlier, like balance, like have a little glass of wine and some chocolate here and there, but overdoing it can lead to, bigger things that are, not so good.
I agree.
Um,
Moderation. Yep.
yeah, ignoring warning signs. People may not want to go to the hospital if they experience symptoms such as faintness, indigestion, or extreme fatigue. So please don't ignore those warning
That's
signs.
right.
Like,
And it's
if you're feeling one of those things, go to the hospital.
I
Even like
agree.
City MD.
I
Like,
agree. An interesting fact behind that, Nick, is
mhm.
I've worked in the corporate insurance industry for many, many years, and this time of year there are many, many deaths related to the holiday season because of stress and heart attacks and
Mm,
overindulgence and not watching what you eat. So definitely, watch the warning signs, and if you feel something, go to the doctor, right?
yeah,
Just
for
get it checked
sure.
out.
That's a good point, Eddie. Thank you. Which leads us to make time for activities that help you de-stress. So like yoga, walking, reading, reduce your stress and help give your heart a break by getting a regular exercise, some good quality sleep, eat as healthy as you can, and try not to overload yourself with multiple commitments. Like, we are we about hustling, but also too there needs to be a balance. You know what I mean? Like, take care of yourself because health is wealth. You know?
Yeah, yeah, these are great. I mean, totally, over committing yourself. That's one thing that just drives people to deal with stress that's unnecessary. So I myself, I think I'm a healthy guy. I take many supplements to stay healthy. And insofar as exercising, I keep my workout simple. I'm not no young buck anymore to be a gym rat working out 2, 3 hours in the gym like back in the college days, but the most
Mm,
I do, Nick, is an hour. And I incorporate a
that's
mix
good.
of, core strengthening exercises and cardio. So my I'm gonna tell you what my secret is, and it's like really, really quick workout. I warm up with jump rope, right? Jump rope
Hmm.
gets the cardio going, gets your heart going. And then I actually jump on the treadmill to do a walk and a light jog. Yeah, I don't hit the treadmill hard like some of these athletes these days. That's just, but then I kind of change it up because I find treadmill work boring. So I'll literally jump off the treadmill while the treadmill's still running. I'll jump off the
Hmm.
treadmill and then I'll mix in a repetition of kettlebell swings. I
Okay.
like boxing, so I do some shadow boxing.
Okay.
And I do hula hoop for a core workout.
Hula hoop.
Yeah,
A hula
don't
hoop?
judge me. Don't judge me. So
No,
no,
no judgments at all. Like,
it's
what?
actually a weighted hula hoop. You ever seen one of those? It's not a regular one
Got it.
because
Okay.
the
Got
weighted
it.
hula hoops forces your midsection to really, really stay strong to hold the hula
Hmm.
hoop up while you're turning it. So I do
Right.
that, and
Right.
I do my routine jumping on and off the treadmill again to keep my heart rate up, and I do it for about 3, 4 sets, and voila, with 45, 50 minutes, I'm done with a whole workout. But I kind of layered it all together so I get a little more intensity out of it. Hey, I'm not one to not share the fact that I've lost more than 50 pounds, and it's because of diet and exercise. And
I
not so much the
love
exercise.
that.
Not so much the
Uh,
exercise because again, I'm not a gym rat, but the diet was huge, lowering the sugar intake, lowering the
nutrition.
carb
Yeah.
intake. These are things that as Latinos we need to understand as you get older. These things start creeping up on you. The sugar
Facts.
levels, you can't eat as much carbs, you got to eat more protein, factor in, less fatty foods, and
Right.
you'll really feel so much better. I mean, cutting down sugar was a game changer, like literally a game changer. So yeah, and
Yeah.
what
No.
are some of the last couple things?
Yeah, yeah, no, I got you. And definitely that sugar intake is definitely like the secret,
Mm-hmm.
thingy that gets to you. But the other tips that we have is avoid fireplace smoke, which can increase the risk of heart attack and stroke. Those carcinogens are not good for you.
Facts.
So like, some people like to stay by the fireplace because it's cozy and warm, but don't stay there too long because, that smoke getting to your lungs is not, it's like having like secondhand smoke.
I agree.
Um, Ask for help if you need it, or even if you don't. For example, would be when shoveling snow. That snow is heavy.
That's right.
Don't do it alone.
That's right. That'll give you a
Um,
heart attack.
Facts. Minimize financial strain by drawing names instead of buying gifts for everyone. So Secret Santas have become the thing these days, especially to help save money. People get into debt over the holidays because they feel like they need to, not
Yeah.
because they want to.
Yeah. Do
You
Secret
know.
Santas, people. Don't go
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
doing one right now with my job,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
great, one person.
Mm-hmm.
Get your flu shot. A recent study has found getting a flu shot can help reduce the risk of a heart attack, stroke, and cardiac death by 50% and reduce the risk of flu-related complications.
Thank you for the reminder because I'm due for a flu shot. Excellent information. So where'd you get all this information from, Nick?
Yeah, so I got all of this from www.mcleanhospital.org/essential. So look that up. It's www.mcleanhospital.org/essential.
Excellent.
And give you a guide.
And everyone, there's plenty of information out there, but clearly stress is a killer. So do yourself a favor and read up on some of these tips that Nick gave you and go online and find this website and take a look at it. Great stuff, Nick. And with that,
yes,
we wrap another VOE show. WEPA.
Yes.
But Nick, let's not forget our monthly motivational quote. Who's our quote from this month?
I got you. Yes, this month's quote is from the one and only Ricky Martin. I love him. He's a famous artist, singer known for his early involvement in the boy band group Menudo. Menudo all the way.
I love Menudo.
As well as his famous World Cup theme song La Copa de La Vida, and then Living the Vida Loca, like hello, that man. And his quote, which I really love, is you just have to get rid of fear and confront the world. Look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you and nothing will destroy you and you're not going to fall.
Wonderful quote. Quote. And Menudo, let me tell you, I grew up in the Menudo days. It was mayhem. The girls were going crazy. It was a great time. Yeah. And with that, Nick, we got to say goodnight.
Oh, okay. Good night, guys.
And we'll see
you in 2025.
We'll see you in the new year. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in February with a new show. So see you in 2025. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye.